Welcome to Nkosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Welcome to Nkosi Talk Shows, everyone. Find your own voice. Lead from within. My name is Nomsa Clara Mbe. I am the founder of Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency and the founder of Nkosi Talk Show. With me today is lovely Carol Ann. Over to you, Carol Ann. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, thank you. And good afternoon from London, UK. And as the writing facilitator, what I do is I empower women to shine through getting their story written. Because at the moment they're silent. Their story's not out there. And it weighs heavy on them. And they know it's something they need to do. So what I do is I unlock that writer within and assist them in getting their story written. Because you can't publish what isn't written. And all of this has come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within. So I have fun as the writing facilitator and, as I say, empowering women to shine. So how can we do that? Nomsa, today's topic might be a clue. You're muted.
Sorry.
So one good habit is unmute ourselves.
Yes. So today's topic is how to create their habit, how to create a healthy habit, get rid of bad ones. So making healthy choices in life can basically help us to feel better. Health-wise, it can help us basically to achieve the things that we want to achieve. Because when you don't feel good, basically you feel tired. If you don't take good care of yourself, if you don't eat healthy, you don't drink enough liquid, can you imagine how your body will feel? So when you basically create good habits, that means the good habits, you can have good goals, you reach your goals, you can look healthy, you can basically be the person that you want to be. And basically by being disciplined physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So I would like to hear from Carol Ann because you chose this topic. So what made you choose this topic, please?
Because I'm creating or changing my habits and realizing that there are a lot of unhealthy habits, which I knew, but I couldn't stop doing them. And so I started creating and looking at some more healthy ones. And it's not just about lifestyle. It's also to do with my business as well. And I love what Jim Rohn says, in as much as he says, motivation gets you started, habit keeps you going. So I've been looking for my motivation because I'd lost motivation. I just sort of lost the will about August, September last year. I just couldn't get going. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like, I just kept questioning, is this really what I'm meant to be doing? And I started this year with setting intentions. And I've set intentions to start things, but some of the things haven't quite started, but some things have. And I kept thinking I need to find that motivation again. But actually, what's now fallen into place through I was doing a challenge with a group, a leadership challenge with a group called the Yes Group through January. And I've realized that actually having healthy habits really form a great part of that. And even though it's something I already knew, because it's like we know something, we hear it, and we know it, and we know it, and we go, yeah, I know that, but we don't actually own it and do it. And now what I've started doing is owning it and doing it. And even just for the last couple of days, where I've now got targeted with certain things, I did find some, I started a morning routine. I thought, let me start with a morning routine. And there was just a couple of things on that morning. It was 3 things. And I've been doing that for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And that has made a difference. So I started to feel, oh, maybe I can get into some routine. And now I've started doing an evening routine, a bedtime routine. And again, I've just put a couple of things in there. So it's keeping it simple. So I can go, yep, tick, 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 rather than, oh, I haven't done it again. And then I'm starting to feel brighter. And now what I'm realizing is I can start taking on board some of the things that have been out there, sort of in the ether, that I'm known to do for my business. I've known for a long time. And it keeps coming back to me. I keep being told there's some daily activities that you need to do and have them as a habit that will help your business to improve. And I've just gone, yeah, I know, and held them right out there. Well, now I'm taking them in. And I've started yesterday. I just started with one particular activity. Today I did the activity again. I was able to go, tick, yes, done that. I went to do the next one and I've gone, oh. But what I can now do is do some inner work on that so that I will pick it up and do it. And so I'm realizing I'm starting to feel energized. I'm starting to feel, yes, excited. So that my motivation is coming back. Because the motivation's always been there in a sense, but it was the habits that were keeping my motivation down and submerged. And now it's allowing it to bubble up again and feel that excitement of that. Oh, okay, let's go. So what about you, Nomsa? What do you hear in that? And what were you thinking about habits and where do you sit with them?
Basically, I, you know, when we were doing live the other day, I did mention that I'm gonna create my own habit as well. That I've been wanting to do it for a very long time, which is working on my brain. So, and you said I need to work on my whole body. So I have been doing that, and I even registered myself on a live on tomorrow at 9 a.m. UK time. So there's the guy that is in a secret movie. What's his name? Is it John? So he will be doing the live, basically how to use your brain properly. So I've registered.
Oh yes, John. Yeah.
Yes.
John
So
Lazara.
Yes, so I've registered myself to do that. And I told you that I've been wanting to go and view the house of my dreams. So I went.
Yeah.
The reason I basically created this habit is kind of so creepy. I went to see this house, and I've been in this dream. I've been in this house in the dream 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I find it so creepy. When the owner was showing me the house, I was like, this is so creepy. And he was telling me why he is and what he does. And I was like, this is so creepy. So I actually, you know, sometimes when we talk about intuition and we talk about things that you see, And I was like, I've never taken my life so serious. And when I saw that house, there were so many things that I saw in the house coming through this house, and I was like, so this is the path. This is not my house, obviously, but this is true. So I was like, I just felt that I've not worked on my habit properly, and I've not taken my goal very serious because I've not believed that I was enough. And when I got home, the whole attitude just changed. It just changed because when I saw this house, there were some things that I saw about Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency, about Ngozi Talk Show, which I was like, I think I'm going bonkers. I woke up and I was like, I think I'm going bonkers. So, no, actually, so I don't know what happened, but so I just working on this, the habit that I'm working on. But for me, basically during lockdown, Kero, and I basically, when everyone else was basically getting sad and stuff, I just looked at myself. I was like, there is a reason why I'm not meeting my clients. There is a reason why I'm at home. So what I did was starting to create my good habit. I've created it, and I found two people to hold me accountable, which is Dr. Biget and the other girl. She's based in South Africa. So I've been working on that, working on my better habit. There are some things, you know, when you work on yourself, your lifestyle, how you eat, and how basically the healthy lifestyle. And so I've created that. And also I've been running since I left to football. I never stopped running. I don't like the gym anyway. It's boring. That's how I see it. But I don't mind the water. I don't mind going running. So when I look at my children, basically what I do is I look at something that motivates me the most. And then I choose, you know, like your why you're doing this. Like with the business, we look at our big why. So for me, I look at my big why I'm doing exercises. It's not because I want to lose weight. For me, my motivation is for my children, for them. When I speak, like if I tell them you need to eat health, you need to be this, you need to be this. So I need to be a good example. So it's not for me losing weight because I've been basically doing exercises all my life. So my basically bones are used to it. So some people, when they create a habit, they basically they become unhappy because they feel that they have to do this. Yeah, I have to do this. It's no longer enjoyable when you feel that way. So you have to give yourself basically that space of happiness, that joy, that actually find something that motivates you. And even when sometimes you don't feel like going, like you talk about every time you don't feel, make yourself wrong. If you don't feel like doing the exercises you want, just find something that basically, if you feel like I can't do it today, but what else can you do that can replace the habit that you are doing, but it's still a good habit? But for me, basically running I love running. If I can't go running, I dance in the house for an hour. If I feel that I don't want to go running today, but it doesn't happen. Maybe it happens once every 2 months or 3 months. So sometimes I feel like I don't want to go running. I'm going to do exercises in the house. I still do it, although I still haven't gone running. So those are the things that motivates me, and eating healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been interesting topics as well that are basically forced to look at how much sugar we're taking, how much calories we are taking. So all those things, they play a part.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They do. Nutrition plays a big part, and looking at your diet. And look at how much, cut down on sugar. Look at how much fruit and vegetables you eat,
I like it when you say sometimes we don't own it. When we say we're gonna create our habits, we don't own it. And I like that because I think that's where we go wrong as well. So I think it's important what you said as well, because you can lose your motivation if you are not basically living up to what you say you're gonna do, and also and just being happy about it, and not like being too hard and say I didn't do this if you feel like you've let yourself down. Life happens, so you still have to be motivated.
Life does happen,
Yeah,
and it's a way of finding that motivation again. And I know we did a talk about how to maintain your motivation.
yeah,
We talked about that a while ago, and actually it's actually looking at what demotivates you.
yeah,
Because if you remember, we said there are actually a lot of different reasons that you could be demotivated. So
yeah,
rather than trying to motivate yourself again, look at what demotivated you and deal with that, because that's a way of then increasing your motivation, because you're much more specific. And I hadn't, until I looked at that, I hadn't realized that obviously it wasn't obvious, sorry. Look how we have a habit of using words that are just crazy, actually. But yeah, sometimes you're not aware of things, and I wasn't aware of the fact that there's different ways with which you can be demotivated. So it's raising your consciousness. It is listening to different speakers. It's listening to different ideas. And it's also recognizing when you go, oh, I know that. I know that. And can you see just that action, you've dismissed it. And that's what I was talking about, owning it. There's knowing it and there's owning it. Because yes, we can know something, but are you actually acting on it? Because if you're not, then you're not owning it. And that's what, I was talking about. And now I started to own looking at my habits, and more to do with also my business. Yes, the healthy ones as well. But in terms of business, I've always been doing a lot of inner work. And I believe that is important. And I believe that's the most important to be done. But that's not everything, because doing the inner work isn't getting the outer work done as much. There are things that you physically need to do for your business to move forward. And so those actions need to be taken. And those were the actions I was putting off. And so those are the actions that I'm now starting to build into my daily habit. As I said, just one or two at a time. But as you were saying, yeah, it's having a purpose. It's knowing your why. For what reason are you doing this? And for me, that, as you say, it is that. I like what you said about being a good example. And for me, it is that setting an example around that you can earn a great income from being self-employed, from having your own business, rather than having to get a job. And it's been clearing a lot of that old programming around got to get a job, that's the only way to have an income. And it's not. But that's how we're generally brought up to believe. And it's a very ingrained belief. So your habits tend to take you down that path. Your habits tend to have you looking for jobs, applying for jobs, rather than opportunities that would have you be able to earn an income or do the actions that you need to do in your business that would bring the money in. Because I know I've often said to myself, what stops me? Why is it I'm happy to look at a job and go, oh, that'd be interesting. I could probably do that. And then I think to myself, actually, I could earn much more in my business. And all I've got to do are these actions. What's stopping me? And so it's now creating a habit of doing those actions. So I'm starting. it's then maintaining it, and that's another conversation. But for me, this month is about getting started. So what haven't you started? And the other habit for me is actually writing. I said I was going to pick up writing my book. It's already started, but I haven't done anything towards it for quite a few years. And I said I would get it written this year. So last month, I set the intention, but I've done nothing more about it. So this month I thought, right, is about getting started. So let's get started. And so one of my habits I want to build in is maybe just writing for half an hour, once a week maybe. Let me just try, give that a whirl and see what happens. Maybe just taking myself to the local library as a once a week habit so that I'm not here. Because again, it's about your environment. Sometimes the environment isn't conducive to what you want to do. And so it's easy for me to look around and start doing other things and get pulled into that. Whereas if I had the intention of saying, right, I'm going to the library this day and I'm going to write my book, just spend half an hour there, it would actually kill two birds with one stone. Because not only would it give me that exercise that I say I'm going to do at least once a week of walking, because it's not a long walk, it's quite a short walk, but it's still a walk and gets me out. And I've been putting that off again. So can you kill two birds with one stone? So for me, it's like, well, yeah, I could walk to the library, I could sit and spend half an hour on my book. Done. And even if it's just once a week, by the end of the month, that would have been 4 times, which is 4 times more than I did last month or, the years before. And then maybe I could increase it and say, well, how about making it twice a week? Or extend the time a little bit. You can play with it. It's not something that's set in stone. Each month you review it, but you just review it each week even. What have I said I'm going to do? Can I shift it, change it a little bit? But the main thing is actually tracking it. And this is something that, again, I've known and I've heard. Anything that is measured, I can't remember the phrase now, but it's what's measured helps you find success, or something like that. Because you're so easy to go, well, I think I've done that. And your brain, your mind plays tricks with you. And before you know it, it is actually a week has gone by and you haven't done what you said you would do. Whereas if you actually track it, keep a check of it, either on a piece of paper or in a spreadsheet, and just tick it off, review it each day, tick it off. And that's what I'm finding. It's like, oh, I've done it. Because I was finding that actually, even my supplements that I've got, I get to the end of the day and it's like, oh, I've forgotten to take them. Have I taken them? I can't remember. So it's now making that a point of, right, I'll tick that off when I've done it, or find a way of making sure how I know that I've done it. So what I've done, I did something today. Hang on. I have this beautiful rose quartz dish, and in a lid here, I've just popped my supplements. I thought, let me put them in there first thing this morning, so that because I need to have them after I've had something to eat. So I'll have something to eat and then I can have them, but I'll know at the end of the day if I've had them. I just thought that might be a better way for me to actually do it. So each morning, put them out, and then I can check it. It's just finding a way of making it work. Keep it simple. What works for you, as long as it happens. So have a purpose. And as I said, for me, my purpose is really getting back to getting my business running, having my health so that I can get my business running, get my brain functioning again. So yes, as you were saying, Nomsa, We need to keep working on our brains. But our body is important. Movement is what actually has your brain function more optimally as well. Because movement increases the nerve nets in your brain, those brain connections. So, yeah, somebody I've just seen here, Zero Dean, says, healthy habits harbor happiness. So you think about your unhealthy habits. How do they make you feel? And I know some of the habits I've had that are really unhealthy. Sitting and watching telly till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I haven't felt healthy. Really, my energy's been drained. I haven't slept that well. In the morning, I'm still tired. Whereas now, I'm making sure I go to bed, lights out by midnight. I'm finding I'm sleeping better, and I'm starting to get up earlier and getting more things done. So it's like, okay, little changes over time become big changes and have a big impact. And as Zig Ziglar says, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. So it's step by step by step. So what's there for you, Nomsa?
I like it when you talk about little changes, because we seem to think that when we make big changes at once, it basically works, but little changes, they make a big difference, because when you do little changes, you can see the improvement. You can see, because you're not actually pushing yourself. You're basically pushing yourself, but not being too hard on yourself. You're basically saying, okay, this is the task that I'm gonna do. This is the action that I'm gonna take, but I'm going to take it a little by bit, step by step. And that basically, it helps you when you achieve your goals as well. You can reward yourself with whatever, however you want. And
That's important. Reward yourself. Very important. I really want to home in on that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Say it again.
It is very important to reward yourself when you do your activities, whatever your habit that you do. And I like it when you talk about inner work and outer work. It doesn't work just inner work. It works together with outer work as well. And I like it when you say people seem to think looking for jobs. Actually, I did a test the other day. I was like, I've been running my business for a very long time now. So now it's time for me. I need to apply for a job for fun, to see whether I can get this job, like the skills, whether they can look at my CV and say, she's got qualifications. So I did apply for a job, and I was like, how much am I worth? So I just sat down and say, if somebody was to give me an interview and they will say, how much am I worth? So I just wrote it down in my mind. I was like, I'm worth this per day. So then I had to calculate it per year. Then I was like, I'm worth this much. So then I went and I was like, okay, let me go online and find the jobs that are familiar with similar to what I've done and stuff, and add my qualifications and stuff. And I just applied, and I was surprised with people actually taking my CV very serious. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm actually surprised. And I was like, oh, this is good. So I was like, sometimes we don't value ourselves, but sometimes it's nice to check on with somebody else and check your skills and just acknowledge the things that you do. And I like it that's why I like it when you say you have to basically start step by step by you have a small habit. And for me, basically, mindset is everything. When you have the right mindset of whatever you want to do in life, is everything. And once you know what you want to do, and like practice a small habit, like you said, Carol Ann, And sometimes people need to understand that whatever you want to do, it will take time. And that habit, it takes time, but the good thing is that time that it takes, once the habit is linked with you, aligned with your character, with your image, with your mind and everything, it becomes a part of you. So it's something that basically it can taken away. Once you practice the habit, it will be challenging for the first time, but once you get used to it, basically it's like it's part of you. It's like you are like, I'm doing this. You're no longer writing it down. You are no longer putting reminders on your phone. Basically it's in your memory and you're doing it and it's fine. So I love that. Basically and you can just go for walks as well, for nature, connect with nature as well. That's another good habit. I don't like to walk. I like to go for a walk with children. But when I'm on my own, for me, I like running. So I just go running in the nature. It does help me out as well. And just create a plan. If you basically have a habit that you say, okay, this is what I need to achieve. Create a plan of how you're going to get there. It's very, very important to have that plan. And when you are faced with the challenges, and if you have a body that can help you, hold you accountable, then you can explain to them if you're going through something and say, listen, I need you to push me because I'm going through this and I need your help. So that's why I have Dr. Bigot and the other girl. They just help me, like when I'm basically when I'm feeling down, because we're not always happy all the time. Okay, what's going on here?
Sorry, you've something is interrupting.
Okay. Yeah. So when you
and we have interruptions, and that challenges like interruptions that knock us off route and stop us from doing what we want to do.
Yeah, you're going through challenges. So you have to have. Can you hear me, Carol Ann?
I can.
Okay. Yeah. When you're going through. Yeah. When you're going through challenges, you have to have somebody that can help you and hold you accountable. That is really, really good. And because sometimes even if you create a plan and you keep going, you will need some encouragement, somebody that can actually push you, just to say, okay, you can do this, regardless of what is going on, and you can do it. For me, basically, my habit, it's like when I receive bad news, you can't tell me before I go running if I receive bad news, because you can't tell me the bad news, because I'm just going to run forever. It's like I just want that frustration, and when I come back, I'm just ready basically to actually let it go and just be me. And also the good habits that you basically, when you create a healthy habits, you have to have a plan of the food that you're gonna eat as well. Eating greens, fruits is very, very important as well, because you have to eat healthy and have a good night's sleep. For me, basically, I wouldn't say these hours are important for you. Everybody is different. The hours that I basically, I might say maybe 8 hours, 7 hours. Maybe for you, Carol Annie works with 6 hours. For me, if I have 5 hours, that's enough. I go to bed at midnight and I'm up at 5:30. So to me, that is fine. That's absolutely fine. So you have to create those habits based on your body. Some people intend to make a mistake, like they will ask people and start doing what people are doing. So you have to create whatever you're creating is like relationships. Everything you do, it has to be based on you, your character, and your surroundings as well. Your environment as well is very, very important if you want to change things around as well. So you're listening to relaxing music is You can get it on YouTube as well. Nature music and what else is in the morning or evening before you go to sleep or when you wake up in the morning, or that music with the water as well, waterfalls.
Yeah.
It does the help as well. So if you know any kind of music at all and you can recommend.
I generally tend to use the different hertz ones.
Oh, okay.
So depending, you can go for 432 hertz, 258 is a really high one, 86, I think it's 852 hertz, but there are lots of different ones depending on what it is that you want to target. So again,
Okay.
just have a look at them. But I often like to listen to ones like that, so that helps to, I say, address whatever's happening in
Yeah.
the moment. Yeah. But certainly nature ones, connecting you with nature is very
Yeah.
grounding. And I think habits are very grounding. So anything that grounds you, because it's those taking those actions, and actions are grounding. So certainly, yeah, music's a great one. But even music that has you dance,
Yeah.
songs that just get you moving, that's really important. So I loved what you said about if you can't go out running, then you'll dance. Because
Yeah.
it is about what you say, making it work for you. Because what works for you, for other people, might not work for you.
Yeah.
So it's making, it's having a go, give it a go, but not beating yourself about the head or beating yourself up because you're not doing it. If you're not doing it, there's a reason, and it clearly doesn't work for you. So as you say, well, what could you do to find things that work for you? Because then you're more likely to do it. So certainly, yeah, music's a great one.
And what else? Then just switching off computers before you go to bed, and mobile phone is staying away from them as well. Just maybe 1 hour before you go to bed. It does help. For me, basically, I love my sleep. It takes me like 1 second. And Martin always say, how do you go to sleep just like that? And I'm like, you need to meditate. Honestly, if I jump to bed, if I go to sleep, it will take me 1 second to go to sleep. Basically, and he says it takes him 1 hour. And I'm like, what are you doing in that 1 hour? Wondering.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you need to meditate. So, yeah, getting rid of social media before bedtime, because sometimes people, they say, oh, I have a quality time, I'm going to have my me time. But then they start going on, while they're sitting, they are like going on social media and playing with the phone. So if you are having some me time, basically switch off. It's healthy to switch off for maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes if you can't do an hour from mobile phones and stuff. So I do that as well, just switch off from social media. I don't really I have people like when we talk about business, they're like, want to talk to me on Messenger. I'm like, listen, if you want to talk to me for business, you call me, we get on with it, make a decision, and it's done. It's sending text and chatting on social media. I'm a very, very busy woman. So I'm like, I'm really, really, really busy. So even on my contract, it does say to my clients that I don't talk to my clients by text. You can text me if you want to check if we can talk. But I'm like, it's not, it takes time as well. But if you make a phone call to somebody, 5 minutes, you're finished. By texting, it's like you're going to text, you're going to do this. It's just.
Yeah.
So.
And then what you said is misunderstood, so you then got to explain it, and much easier, just quick speak on the phone.
Yeah, it's healthy. If I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call somebody, just call that person and get rid of the phone. So it's nice, like when you say, okay, I'm gonna relax. Just mean it. Relax means relax. It doesn't mean go in the screen and do this. So it's good to do that. Do you have anything else?
So what you were saying about sleeping, because if it's taking you time to get to sleep, And there must be things going around in your mind.
Yeah.
Because being able to get to sleep easily is a great one. And I know I can, more often than not, as soon as I'm in bed and I'm snuggled, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And but it is being able to find ways of getting to sleep if you find that you're not able to sleep. And I know there are times when, if I haven't been able to, I've perhaps got up in the night and I haven't been able to get back to sleep, and it's like my body's fidgety, I will actually massage my feet. I do the soles of my feet, the tops of my feet, my calves, just gently lengthening the muscles in my calves. And I do that with both feet and both legs, and I can just feel my body just calming down. And then I'll lay down again, and very often I'll just go back to sleep. So interestingly enough, the other night, I don't know why, just out of the blue, my brain was active. I got up in the night and I couldn't seem to settle back again. And my brain was just active. So I've never done this before, but I started going through the times tables. I was going, okay,
Really?
1 2 is 2, 2 2s are 4, 3 2s are 6, 4 2s are 8. Yeah, I just kept going through them, and it was like, oh, that's quick, that's quick. And every time my mind wandered, I was straight back to it again. And I got up so far, and I started recognizing ones that I'd stumble over because I knew it the other way round. And you know how sometimes you've only learnt it one way? So like 8 6s, I know 6 8s 48. I immediately do that twist in my head. So I found myself stumbling a bit. So I started correcting that and working on that. But I went to sleep. I found, because I was so focused, I started relaxing. My mind then I was just like, okay, it forgot what it was focusing on before, and I just went to sleep. It was great. Just absolutely great. So maybe, you know, they say about counting sheep, you know, jumping over fences. That's never worked for me. But yeah, just to say, it just came out of the blue. I decided to do my times tables, and interestingly enough, I think I got up again a bit later on that night, because it was a night I was having quite a restless night, and I couldn't get back to sleep again, so I started doing it again, and I actually found I went all the way through my tables, boom, 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 and even the ones that I was having that bit of a struggle with, it was sorted. And it's like, oh, my brain sorted it. It's fun. And then I went to sleep. So anything is worth giving it a go, but certainly find ways of getting yourself back to sleep. If you are tossing and turning, what is it that your body's saying to you? Because clearly there's some discomfort there. It's not relaxed, and it is find a way of helping your mind and your body to relax. So if just giving it a massage, asking someone else to give you a massage, listen to some meditation, listen to some music that just shifts your energy and just can switch everything off, and then just drift into sleep. Your quality of sleep will be far better than if you're tossing and turning and you're trying to force yourself into sleep. And being able to have a good night's sleep is a great habit to have, because you can wake more refreshed, you're more alert, you can do much more the next day, and it's healthy. They always talk about sleep, and I don't think it's necessarily plenty of sleep. It's about the quality of the sleep, and how much is really down to you. Because I've been having lots of sleep these last few years, and now I'm finding that because at one time I could sleep on a lot less and get up and keep going, and then I'd make up for it a few days later, you know. So it is balancing it out. That know what's right for you, but it's about having good quality sleep where you can dream. Because I found when I wasn't dreaming. I had a period of time where I wasn't sleeping at all well.
Godwin, it says
A couple of years ago.
Carol Ann.
Yeah.
Godwin was saying hello. He's gone now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can see messages. People who are on LinkedIn, if I type, they won't be able to see messages.
Oh, okay. I can't see a message.
He popped in and said hello and sent some hearts.
Oh, nice. Oh, thank you. Again, that's well received. Sending somebody a bit of love is really healthy, and a habit that you could get into, just sending love and communicating with people, because that helps you to feel good as well. But definitely, yeah, make sure you have a good night's sleep so that you can get into that dreaming state, because I think if you don't get into that state, and I know, as I said a couple of years ago, when I wasn't sleeping at all well, I felt really muggy and foggy in my head, whereas now my thoughts are getting clearer. I'm having much better quality sleep, and I feel better for it the next day. It's taking time, and as you said, Nomsa, it does take time.
Yeah.
But Wayne Dyer, I love what he says. Healthy habits are learned in the same way as unhealthy ones, through practice. And that's because our unhealthy habits, we repeat them and we repeat them till they become something that is actually, we do it without thinking. And that's the problem. A habit is something you just do without thinking. And so it's, what you need to do is recognize them. You've got to catch yourself. What is the habit that actually is unhealthy here? What is the benefit that you're getting or think you're getting from it? And so what would be a more healthy habit that would give you the same benefits? That's something you could ask yourself. But you've got to catch the habit first. You need to find what's the trigger. What is it that's triggering you to go and eat all that food? I know there's times when I go and eat bread or cakes, and I'm going around and wanting sugar, and it's like, what's going on here? I've started to want it less now, but I know the other day I was hunting around and I found myself eating some cream and some biscuits, and it's like, I suffered for it afterwards, but I enjoyed it at the time. It gave me something I wanted. What other thing could I do that would give me that same enjoyment, but without that suffering afterwards? That's what I'm now looking at and exploring. So again, that's what you need to do. What's the trigger? Catch that habit and say thank you. Thank you. You've done a great job. For whatever your reason you were here for, it now no longer serves me. It's not a healthy habit for me anymore, and I need you to change. And even acknowledge how great it is at keeping you going with it, and ask for it to support you in a healthy habit. So you give it a positive job to do, that part of you that's kept that habit going.
You have someone talking to you, Carol Ann.
Yes, that's what they say.
Padmaja. Is it Padmaja? I don't know if I pronounced it right. Good evening from India. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Thank you for joining us.
Tell us your good habit that you've created, Padmaja, please.
There's a great habit here of joining us and listening, because you never know what tidbit you might hear.
Yes,
so
it is a good habit.
Yeah.
It's a good habit just to listen to basically some ideas, different ideas. I think it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What is she saying?
My pleasure. Oh, bless you. Yeah. So it's find out what those habits are that you want to break, but also recognize how they think they're serving you, and then what habits you could develop that would give you those same benefits. But go back to your purpose. What is it that you're really wanting to do? What's your why? Be patient. Be patient, because it can take time. And I know we can get a bit impatient. And sometimes we think we're taking the elevator. But as I said, Zig Ziglar says, there is no elevator. And those habits that we have got tend to be what we think of the elevator. It's that quick fix in the moment. And they're very addictive. They're satisfying a need in that moment, but they're not helping us long term. They're creating more problems than they actually solve. So, yeah, create that awareness, make some shifts. And I know that I talk a lot about the inner work. And I know that a few things that are helping me now with picking up these habits is I've done some inner work. This last week, I've done a couple of things. And because I'd recognized that for me, my future, it wasn't there. I couldn't see it. It was black. I just could not see beyond a certain point. That's it. I couldn't see beyond a certain point. It just wasn't there. And so it's like, I could see that all my habits were just, I was giving up. I was giving up. Well, what's the point? I can't see a future. Now, as I say, I've done some inner work, some really deep clearing, and on some limiting beliefs, some energy work and healing on my abdomen, where I've got some things going on here. But actually that future, first of all, I started getting glimmers, like little stars in the darkness. And then the other night, there was this dawning happening. I could see the sun rising on something in the future. There was a horizon there that was actually bright. And so I got this sense of being pulled into a really bright future. And now my whole energy is different. And I'm feeling excited. And that's where my habits, I'm going, and I'm now creating and enjoying these healthier habits. And I'm wanting to do them. So the inner work, the balance is, I believe, 80% inner work, 20% the doing of those other actions that you need to do. And that's the balance that I believe. Because that 80-20 is a rule of thumb in a lot of things. And I believe you should do more inner work than the outer work, because things do tend to sort. You shift that energy and it's amazing what falls into line. But then there are certain actions that you do need to take, that only you can take, that will move things forward. So that's where I'm at. And she's feeling excited. But actually having healthy habits, what they help is your health is far more important. Your health is your wealth. And so it's about helping with heart conditions, keeping cholesterol low, blood pressure within a safe range, and keeping your blood flowing smoothly, but also decreasing those risks of cardiovascular disease. It helps improve longevity of life and your physical appearance, and also your mental health. And what's more important what's showing up as really important these days is mental health. That is a really key concern that is being flagged up a lot more these days. So again, what healthy habit can you form that will help your mental health and just give your energy that boost, and you can see it just cheers everything up. So yeah, is there anything else that you've got? Keep it simple.
Also, I like it when you actually say you have to prioritize your health, Carol Ann, because your health is everything. And also let go of perfection, because some people believe that when we are creating good habits, that everything is going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be. You have to leave the fun. Perfection exists in the dictionary, but is basically what matters is doing your best, not being perfect or not wanting everything to be perfect. Is just saying I'm gonna go all in and I'm gonna take responsibilities. I'm gonna basically do my best. Not, oh no, I want everything to be perfect. That's when your health comes in, when you basically want things to be perfect, and if they don't go the way you want, then you'll be disappointed. Then that better habit becomes stressful. It becomes like, I try to make everything fun. Everything that I do, I basically try to make it fun and find a accountability partner and repetition and repeat whatever repetition. It's very, very important, and knowing your goals and the results. Just monitor your results, how things are going, and have less of rest. You touch to health, Carol Ann, and your character as well. It has to align with whatever you're doing at that moment, and just enjoy the fun. And the changes that will come, they come in a long time period of time as well. So you just have to. I've seen some people, they're like, I'm losing weight, but I'm not happy. I'm like, you're taking the funny out of this. You're taking the funny. Basically, if you make a decision and say you're going to lose weight and then you're stressing, then the fun is gone. It's like, the funny is the process of that. When you say, I'm going to lose weight, or you have a plan, some people put meals, what they're going to eat to lose weight. Some people go to the gym. I'm like, when you start stressing, it's not funny anymore. So I'm like, I remember when I had my oldest, it took me a year for my body to go back to normal, but I was running every day and I was doing all these things. But for me, basically, to see the changes, it took me a year and I stayed there. And when I'm losing weight after giving birth to my two children, I don't basically get stressed. So I'm like to people, when you're doing something, find the fun part of it and just enjoy the ride. You are having bad days, it's fine. It's fine to have bad days. As long as you have someone that is there to say, it's okay, hold your hand. Someone that is holding your hand. That's all you need. Bad days are going to always be there. So you have to accept it. You don't have to stress about it. You just pick yourself up and just accept those small changes and enjoy the ride.
Absolutely. And as you say, the bad days will be there. The days where it doesn't quite work out, and your accountability buddy is there to support you, keep you going. But it's also where if you track what you're doing, this is where you can see if you've actually succeeded for 80% of the time, those bad days are okay. They fit in. Yeah. Because even if you've done 80%, you've been successful. That will actually move you forward and help you be successful. If someone's just popped something in, healthy habits always
gives us confidence to work independently and doing justice to our work. Thank you to both of you. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Absolutely.
do. Yeah. They give us confidence.
That's right. Also, good habits are as addictive as bad habits.
Yeah.
And a lot more rewarding.
Yeah.
Harvey Mackay says that, and I think that's so true. They're much more rewarding and you can have fun. And it's about having fun with life. And but what I just like to leave people with, I think, is a couple of Sean Covey says, depending on what they are, our habits will either make us or break us. We become what we repeatedly do. And that's what you were saying, Nonsa. It's about repeating it and repeating it. But it's also recognizing where, if it's not quite working, go inward,
Yeah.
do the inner work. Because by repeating the same thing, you're going to keep repeating the same things that are not working. So
Yeah.
go in, do the inner work, do again and say, okay, what's the habit? How do I need to tweak it? Or can I carry on with this habit? And watch the success happen. So again, keep looking at the inner work and then do that, the outer actions. And then the other one I was looking at, in a nutshell, your health, wealth, happiness, fitness, and success depend on your habits. I think that's a great one to leave you with.
Yeah.
Just think, everything depends on your habits. So go have fun with them.
Yeah.
Play with them.
The surroundings, the environment, everything.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to our audience who are watching today, and those who are gonna watch it later. Please press some heart button and share some love with your families, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. And live with grace, everyone, and God bless you. Have a beautiful weekend. And Patmaja in India, please have a lovely weekend. I don't know what time is it now in India. I think it's evening or nearly or morning. I don't know. So have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you next week, guys. We're here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.